Hello everyone, this is Tessa and welcome back to my channel. You may have noticed that I'm a little bit more peppier or have more excitement than I've been having lately because I've been so distraught on dealing with a computer that didn't want to work and I couldn't write my story, and I was becoming further behind in NANO, and I just was just an unhappy person. And now I'm really excited. I got my new computer. It's an all-in-one, so it's a desktop, which is all inside the monitor. It's really compact, but it's still a desktop, so I have a keyboard. It has the touch screen, so I don't need to use the monitor, although I'm so used to it, I don't even think about the touch screen. You just have to touch the screen and do whatever. It also comes with a built-in microphone and camera, so I have been doing my live streams on there. It took some practice and some, trial runs, and it seems to be working now. So I've been typing like crazy. I've been having quite a few pop-ups, and I had a over 9 hour one the other night. Got well over 4,000 words. Between the last few days with all the typing I've been doing, I'm definitely caught up with NANO. We're on day 16 now, still have almost half the month left. So as long as the story doesn't run out, I should manage to hit the 50,000 words. And as I mentioned, I'm a NANO rebel. I am redoing my July camp story that I started writing. It's novel technically, but I don't know if I'll get that many words. I have a hard time typing that many words, for a story. My stories usually aren't that long. But that's the goal. And this one, I actually think I have enough. I might actually make an actual novel-length story out of this one. So I'm busy typing along in an area that has nothing, so I can just type. And I'm a pantser, so I don't have to look at, outlines and stuff like that. But I have run into a few complicated spots that I don't know which way I want to go. So I'm kind of thinking about that right now. And there will be some research that still has to be done because I don't have the familiarity with how cops and courts run. And I do have, obviously, in a thriller, there's death. And so there's going to be cops, and there's probably going to be a court, and I need to find out how that works. So I'm doing research trying to figure all that out, and then I have to put it into a working order. So that'll be an outline of sorts, because I have to put that down as an order, or I'll never keep that straight in my head once I figure out what order each item comes. But I just started working on that the other day, so I just have to read it, start trying to place it in the order it has to go, get an idea of what I want to write, and then write that part. But so far, I am really running pretty fast. I changed the story, so I can use parts of the old story. So I didn't just toss it out. I just copied what I wanted out of the old story, because some of it was still usable, and then I'm writing around it. And I've hit a couple spots that I could really get into, and yeah, I'm changing it up, which is exciting too, because I had more and more ideas pop into my mind. And of course, I have a lot of stuff in there that sometimes I'm like, why are you typing this? It's not important to the story. It's nothing that people really need to know. It does, like I overwrite, I underdescribe. It's one of the issues that I put up with. And I have I have read this story so many times it isn't funny. And and I keep finding things, and it's like, wait a minute, I can't put that there. That doesn't work right. It's in the wrong order. Or, wait a minute, I remember reading that so many paragraphs up. Why is it here? You know, those kind of things. So I got the new computer. I'm happy, excited, a little manic, which is I got to keep an eye on, because popping out of my depression into mania is not a good thing. And we did just increase my medicine, so I shouldn't be manic. So I have to keep my eye on that, because it's not a good thing. But it's a lot of excitement, and I think I have a right to be excited. I've got a new computer, and I didn't have to go to a laptop, which I really couldn't afford and I didn't really want. I'm just happier on a desktop. But I can still do the same things that the laptop does with the live streams, and that makes me happy. So, you know, like I said, I'm caught up in NaNoWriMo. My Millwordy, I'm not hitting, you know, the goals there, and I probably won't, but it's no big deal. I write down the numbers, and, you know, they're there, but I can't do what I can't do. You know, I'm working as fast as I can, and I work when I can. And sometimes my bipolar does not allow me to write. It just doesn't allow me. And at those times, forcing it doesn't work, because it doesn't produce what I want to produce. You know, when you force yourself to do things, it doesn't always work. So I have to struggle with that. And in the beginning, I didn't think there was any way I was going to have anything to do with NaNo. I was just going to skip it. Then I said, well, let me try it. And I started. But I was running, you know, really below, because my computer just wouldn't type. So I was really disgusted with everything. And so I said, oh, I don't care. But in a way, I do care. I mean, you know, I would like to actually make the 50,000 words and show myself I can do it. It's not easy for me to do 50,000 words. I'm not someone who writes that many words. I'm mainly a short story writer and blogger, and, you know, my short stories and my poetry is on my blogs. And, you know, I'm just not a lengthy writer. I can't write long stories. So this will be, if I can manage to actually do this, really do this, it's going to be exciting for me, because camps, they're no big deal. I just put a lower goal on there, and I know I can do, and I do it. But, you know, the 50,000 is usually unattainable for me. So it would be very nice to actually hit the 50,000, and if things keep going as they are right now, I think I'll do it. So I'm quite happy about that. I'm quite happy about the new computer. My streams, you know, they're not very well attended, but I'm getting new people all the time. I had to start over when I was in the hospital, and I lost all my regulars that I had then, and they found other places to go. So I'm starting with new people. I'm building new regulars. So, you know, it's going to take a little time to build them up, but, you know, I'm working at it. Slowly but surely, I'm working at it. And, you know, I'm trying to get over my, I'm an introvert, so I'm trying to get over my shyness and trying to mention that I have a stream coming up when I'm, you know, in the comments, because I see people do it all the time. And so I try to, you know, get up the nerve to put it in there. And, of course, I advertise on Instagram and, you know, everything. So people have given me tips on how to do that. And so I do that. And so maybe I only have, you know, approximately 6 people average at one time, because they come and go, because I do over several different time zones, and they come and go. But actually it's better for me, because I'm not, being an introvert, trying to keep conversation going with a lot of people, I find that very difficult. So, you know, we have conversations, you know, sometimes we just have conversations. We stop writing, and if somebody wants to talk about something, we talk about something. I'm very laid back, and I do what the people want, and if they decide they'd rather just talk for a while, then we talk. As well as you can talk, with somebody that's in a stream, and you're talking out loud. It's kind of weird sometimes, but I've gotten used to it. And so that's basically it. Things are picking up. New computer. There's some problems with it. I hope they're not permanent problems. I hope there's just, things that I need to reinstall. The computer was very well recommended, so it's an HP all-in-one, and it was well recommended by everybody. I read a long list of recommendations, so I can't believe I'm having so much trouble with it. And so we'll have to see. I mean, I'll have to try, because I have some things I have to do. I still haven't downloaded a few of my programs. I don't have my editing programs on there yet, and I have to figure out how I go about doing them, because I paid for those things. And I have to find out how I go back in and, do I just download it and see if there's a key on my receipt, or I don't know how all that works. So I still have those to do. So I have no editing programs. Wasn't using them anyhow because the memory was so slow. But it ought to be a lot better once I get, them in and running. I should be able to start working on editing again. I did some easy stuff, but I still can't cut out the bad stuff and stuff like that. I know how to add intros and outros and a kind of a intro page, a static page that just has the topic on it. But I don't know how to cut the text and put things in the middle. I can add, like questions and text and stuff, I know how to do that now, and, and there's still things I need to learn, and I got an expensive editing program, which I have no clue how to use, but I actually used it when I worked with the least expensive program and learned how. It was a very easily done program, is easiest to learn, and so some of that I carried over, and I actually did use that program, but not to its full capacity. I mean, it can do so much as it's a regular full editing program. I was using Memoir 9, and that's very easy for anybody, obviously, because even I managed to do it. But I bought Pinnacle 23, and that's very complicated. I did use it once or twice, but I couldn't do anything more than the simple stuff of adding the, like I did. I added the intro and the outro, and I'm not sure if I could add the little intro page I added, static one in the beginning or not. So I have to, like I said, download those still. So I have stuff still to do with the computer. It's not completely ready to go, but I'm able to get back into my NANO work, so I'm happy. Things are going well there. If you like my video, please hit like, and I do answer comments. If you want to make a comment, I do answer them. Sometimes maybe not the same day, but I do answer them. I get back to any comments. And if you'd like to subscribe, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I finally figured out on where the notifications are now. Although I preferred it when it was emails, I do know where the notification bell is now, so it will tell me the newest stuff that came through. So it's better than nothing. So, I'm learning, Sometimes it takes me a little longer, but I am learning. So, that's it for today. Like I said, day 16. Excuse me. So we're over halfway through NANO, but I'm on target. And I think as long as they don't run out of words, I should make it this time. So I'm going to let you go. Until the next time, please be safe.